Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. Today, I'm practicing Sealed in preparation for tomorrow's Win-a-Box event. So, January 30, there is going to be an event on Arena where if you get 7 wins, you get a Lorwyn Eclipsed collector booster box mailed to your house. And it is a 6,000 gem entry, and you have to get your 7 wins before you hit your second loss. I really want to do well in that event. I've managed to get boxes in Dragonstorm Tarkir, Foundations, and also in Avatar, so I'd really like to add Lorwyn to that list. But it's not going to happen if I don't get some reps in and try to figure out what's good in Sealed in this format. So that is what I am doing today. I'm going to be practicing using Arena's traditional Sealed because Premier Sealed has these strange kind of seeded packs where you have to choose your tribe. I think this is more similar to what the Direct is going to be like. I'm just guessing. So here I pay 2,000 gems to enter. If I get 1 win, it's 500 gems, 2 wins is 1,200, 3 wins is 1,800, and 4 wins, I actually make gems, but I can only get 2 losses along the way. Before we see what's in our packs, I just want to thank YouTube user Alexandra Adams for this really kind and hilarious comment. I laughed a lot at it. You know, I started out on YouTube just a few weeks ago, and I am posting a draft video every single day. And obviously it's not all about the views and subscribers and whatever. I love playing Magic and I really enjoy talking about my thought process and having a growth mindset, positivity mindset, and trying to be part of a community that's all getting better at Limited together. But definitely kind comments like this make it feel like it's worth doing and worth continuing to do. So I really, really appreciate the comment. Keep them coming, and super happy to hear from anyone who has any thoughts while I'm going along in these drafts or sealed events. And on that note, let's pay our 2,000 gem entry and let's jump into it. Okay, come on. I'm really hoping to get some good bombs here. Although, honestly, it might even be better practice if we have a horrendous pool to try to work with. Okay, so what do I think about these cards? Figure of the Fable for Spry and Mighty is like, fine. It's very, very conditional. This is a card that half of the time is going to feel incredible. You choose 2 creatures, draw X cards, and they both get +X and trample, where X is a difference between their powers. So half the time it'll feel incredible, and half the time it will be stuck in your hand doing absolutely nothing. And so it's really a feast or famine kind of a card. Figure of Fable is one of the top bombs in the format. It's Figure of Destiny, but turned into a Kifkin, just an amazing card. We do have a dual land. Lava Leaper, don't play this card. Both of its abilities are symmetrical. Symmetrical abilities in draft are typically bad. Tristan, I think, is mixed kind of a card. A 3/4 for 3 with Death Touch is pretty good rate already. It does mill you cards, which is good for the elf deck. So if you have a highly synergistic elf deck, you really might want to play this card. But if you keep flipping it back and forth, it actually will mill you out in a hurry, and I'm not sure that the draining is really all that important. So pretty mixed one there. Marilyn, I'm not even sure I've ever fully read. So it's a 4/5 for 5 with flying, so it's already very strong. When it or another elf or fairy you control enters, exile the top 2 cards of target opponent's library. Okay. Once each turn, you may cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of elves and fairies you control from among the cards exiled with it, without paying that card's mana cost. Okay, so we might try to do some kind of elves and fairies thing. That's interesting. Temple Garden and Overgrown Tomb is nice. Having dual lands that are in colors that touch each other is always good. Champion, this is the Goblin Champion. I think this card is extremely strong. It's pretty easy, I think, to engineer a board position where you can just make your opponent basically do a one-sided board wipe. Sort of one-sided. Like, you blight 2 and they blight 2, and you're playing higher toughness creatures, so you can just kind of make them sack their whole board. Rating schemes, 5 mana enchantments that don't affect the board are typically very bad in Limited. I haven't seen anyone try to make this work, and there's probably a reason. Harmonized Crescendo, I think in a build-around deck could be good, but probably you're not going to get to play that in Sealed because it requires a very dedicated tribal identity. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick scan. Rather than looking at individual cards, I'm going to tell you what I think just looking at the colors. So for white, a bunch of these cards are not very good. I'm looking at cards like Double Gold, Meadow, Nomad, the Everstrike's Gift, some random combat trick, a Merfolk build around, a Kifkin build around, and then double Kifkeeper. That looks like a color that we probably are not interested in. In blue, Blossombind is fine, Summit Sentinel is fine, double Silvergill Peddlers would be good in a Merfolk deck, but actually our blue is looking pretty weak. Where are all of our cards? Oh, black is where all of our cards are. Look at this. Mudbutton Curse Tosser is good if you have the Goblin support to be able to play it early. Double Blightrod is fantastic. You really want solid removal in Sealed, so that is really nice to see. with our Champion of the Weird. Dawnhand Eulogist is good if you have the elves to back it up, but again, you don't want to be too much in a classic tribal synergy in sealed in a tribal set, because you either get it or you don't, and most of the time you don't get enough to do just a classic tribal thing. I think Gut Splitter Gang and Graveshifter are both fine. Okay, in red, I'm looking at Seer, 2 Elder Antes. Yeah, very weak red overall, to be honest. Not a lot pulling us into that color. Green is looking nice, though. Double Great Forest Druid, the Lissalina Dignitary with double Lissalina Informant. Amazing 2-drop slot. Wow. And then we have Pummeler for Hire and Spry and Mighty on the top end with several good 3-drops. Okay, I'm immediately looking at green-black as a strong possibility, and that would allow us to play our Figure of Fable. We have a Glisterbairn, and we have a Marilyn. Okay, I'm going to immediately... First, I'm going to stack up all my cards by color, and we'll just compare the number of cards of each color that we have. I think that's always a good practice in Sealed. And then focus in on our playables. Immediately, I'm going to need a really good reason not to just go green-black, to be honest. So I'll finish sorting all of these by color, and let's see what we're looking at. Okay, I think my intuition was correct. I want to build black-green. I think it's not like we can rule out white and red immediately. It's not like they're just obviously horrible, but it really, my white looks very split with a bunch of clunkers in it. And my red also looks like, I would say, fairly low average card quality with no bombs. Not a single bomb that's pulling me into wanting to play that color. So I'm going to see what black-green looks like, and I'm probably going to put in a blue splash for Marilyn. Let's see what that looks like. So right now I'm looking at something like this. I probably will want to cut some non-creature spells, like cut this, maybe cut the Blossom Bind, maybe cut a Dawnhand Eulogist or something, just because I'm not that in elves. But this is really making me wonder how much I actually want to be black. The Champion of the Weird is only playable if I can push in a bunch of shapeshifters, because I really don't have the goblin density. And the hero here is green. Look, it's contributing 2, 4, 5, 6 2-drops, all 6 2-drops, and a mega powerful card as a 1-drop. It's not really an elf synergy deck other than Marilyn. So I'm actually wondering, maybe there's another color that would do better than black for me. I mean, Marilyn is awesome, but you could imagine being base green blue, for example. It doesn't really look like I have that option. And splashing the Marilyn, yeah, it doesn't look like that's possible, but I don't know. Maybe I can put together green red or something. So I'm going to see if maybe there's something better in like green red aggro. I think that could be good. So green red aggro would be something like this, except I would have to cut this and put in, I don't know. I'm kind of short on cards, to be honest. Maybe I put in 2 Colorado Zealots or something. I don't really like it. I mean, I get Seer, but it takes out the Blight Rots, and I think the Blight Rots are 2 of the best cards that I have for Sealed. It gives up a bomb in Marilyn. So, okay, maybe I'll go back to base green-black and see if I can, base green-black with a blue splash, and see if I can get enough changelings in there that I'm comfortable playing Champion of the Weird, because this card will be stuck in your hand if you do not have a goblin. It is not optional to not have a goblin when you're playing this card. So let's see. I probably want at least 7 goblins or shapeshifters in my deck if I'm playing that. Okay, I think in the end, I'm actually not going to play Champion of the Weird. I'll probably cut Champion in this Graveshifter. Try to just be a really fast green-black deck. I don't really think that I can get there on the goblin count, and I also have all these elf synergies that I want to have going on. So maybe I'll actually cut Prideful Feastling and play Graveshifter, because just to get one step one step slower, but because I have Great Forest Druid and Shimmerwild's Growth, both for ramp. Because I have these 3 pips, I actually do not think that I have to play an island. So that's kind of nice. I would consider maybe I should just do this. Anti-Sentence instead of Prideful Feastling. Neither one is a very impressive card, but I like the idea of having the opportunity of just taking a bomb out of their hand. In Sealed, that seems like it could be important because everyone has a bunch of bombs. So, okay, I'll try this. My card quality is not the most incredible, but hopefully I will have a nice, consistent line of stats hitting the board. And by the way, one thing that I do want to point out is Temple Garden is kind of nice if I'm playing the Prideful Feastlings. Otherwise, I guess it doesn't really matter. It can activate the Fable, the Figure of Fable, but so could a Forest. So maybe I actually just go 9, 1, and 7. That sounds good to me. Okay. So I should have really good mana, ramp, and just pretty consistent stats hitting the board. So let's see if that can do it. If you do want to see me play in the Arena Direct, probably I'm hoping to post a video tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, all of Arena Direct runs. Go ahead and click subscribe. And after that, I'm going to go right back to drafting Lorwyn. I always try to explain my picks, have a positive growth mindset, take you right along with me, and always super open to feedback and really eager to hear anything that you have to say. Okay, our opener hand is fine. Spry and Mighty is looking very stuck here. This is a not amazing Spry and Mighty situation. Okay, they might just be using Springleaf Drum for ramp. The really clever thing to do with this card in this set is Merfolk. This is a repeatable Merfolk tap activation, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm just going to do a playstyle that I refer to as playing dead here. I do have a flash creature. I will happily trade it for the Thoughtweft Lieutenant. My expectation is that they will play 1 or 2 Kithkin here, buff the Lieutenant, and then they're going to swing in. I don't actually know if they should avoid attacking here, to be honest. It might just be worth it for them to trade this for the Dawn's Light Archer. But I definitely want to make the trade here. I don't think that I can just be taking 1 million damage every turn. The opponent is on quite a massive ramp plan. I guess they could have had Springleaf Drum and then +2/+2 and Hexproof. That would have blown me out for sure. Well, I'll play this tapped. Spry and Mighty's looking pretty bad. But I guess if I could get like a 1-drop, then I would be able to cast it on the Pummeler. It's too bad that I can't target a creature I control and a creature an opponent controls. Okay, maybe I should have mulliganed. I don't know. We didn't want to draw all these lands, did we? It's not great for us. Well, this is a learning experience. I mean, I would like to get my gems back for this entry, but more than anything else, this is a learning experience. Slumbering Walker is a mega bomb. I guess maybe that's part of why they don't care about trading this thing off. I totally misread this card. I thought it was a creature card with mana value 2 or less. I think I misread it at pre-release and didn't run it because I thought it was mana value 2 or less. Obviously here, that's still really good because they could bring back a Thoughtweft Lieutenant. But yeah, it's going to be very hard for us to beat Slumbering Walker if they find it next game. So that's a tough one. Maybe my creature count is too low. Should I cut the Shimmerwild's growth perhaps? It's kind of feeling like we're in a lot of trouble. I guess if I can get a 1-drop and play Spry and Mighty, but wow, I mean, drawing only lands. I pretty much have drawn only lands this game, right? Because Shimmerwild's growth is basically a land. That's kind of on me. That's a deck building thing because I am running the ramp. And when you run a bunch of ramp, you can always draw it late in the game when it's terrible. All right, so they get to attack me with Slumbering Walker. Go for it. Maybe I should be playing Glister Baron or something. It seems, I don't know. Maybe I should just mulligan any hand that does not have a 2-drop in it. Maybe I should play, honestly, it's probably right to play 1 island and not play Shimmerwild's growth. That's probably what I should have done. Ramp is often not such a great strategy in Limited. You really need a very specific kind of deck to make ramp good. Okay, you get to Surveil. What they can do here, which is kind of grotesque, is they can put a creature in the bin and then bring it back with Slumbering Walker. But it looks like they didn't do that. Okay, so Shimmerwild's growth can get me Maryland, but I'm 1 mana short, which is really painful. Oh, no. I'm not 1 mana short. I can just do this. Okay, very good. So it enters, and then I get to exile the top 2 cards of your deck. And then once each turn, I could cast a card of mana value 1. Okay. I will not attack. Unfortunately, Spry and Mighty's still looking completely stuck. I had a very negative opinion of this card. I saw people playing it, and I saw that it's like doing fine in the format. And then I thought maybe I should try it, and now I still have a very negative opinion of it. So, hey, this is a learning experience. We're trying to learn what not to do when there's actually a box on the line, more than anything else. More than I'm actually trying to win this game. So once each turn, I can play the things that I've exiled from them. Okay, I will just take this for sure. Taking 4 each turn is not like a joy to me, but If I get an elf, I get to exile 2 more cards of theirs, and then I would get to play Assert Perfection. And their Slumbering Walker is out of counters. Oh, that's an elf. Awesome. I like that a lot. Okay, so I'll play Tristan. Death Touch is really nice here. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. Marilyn is doing what Marilyn does. I'll see if they have removal spell for it. I don't think there's a lot of instant speed removal that they could have in white and green. I actually can't think of a single one. Is there something? Deal 4 to a tapped creature is one. I don't know what else I could have. Okay, so I can play 1 card. Oh, okay, so it goes away. You may cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to from among the cards exiled with it this turn. Oh, I missed that. Okay. And it's cast a spell, so you can't play a land. Okay, so I don't get to play the Assert Perfection. Never mind. My bad, but that's okay. Wait, but hold on. I exiled an elf from their deck, so now I get to play an elf and trigger this again? Oh no, but it's only once per turn that I can cast it. So I will deck them a little bit, but I don't think I get to play whatever I get. Yeah. So I'm just decking them. I'm just looking at their whole library. Do I want that card? First, what did I get from them? Another Assert Perfection and a Keep Out. Interesting. Do I want the Dawn Hand Eulogist? Well, am I going to mill it? Let's see. No, I would draw it before I make any mill decisions. I kind of want a tiny creature so that I can Spry and Mighty. Yeah, I think I want a smaller creature than that one. So let's put that in the bin. Now, do I attack them with Marilyn? I think so. There's no jump spell here, and there is deal 4 damage at instant speed. I think I do just attack with Marilyn. I don't think I can get punished. I can't think of a card. Oh, they could have the 4/2 reach and then also buff it. That would be how I would get punished. But okay, I'll just play this. Okay, so now Tristan is going to block Slumbering Walker if they attack with Slumbering Walker. If they attack with anything else, Tristan should be able to eat it. Unless Thoughtless Lieutenant makes something really chunky. That's always possible. Maybe I should have kept that on top because it's an elf. Oh, your tapped creatures get indestructible. That's absolutely bonkers. Yeah, maybe I actually should have kept the Dawn Hand Eulogist on top because it's an elf and would trigger Marilyn. Yeah, I guess that actually was a mistake, wasn't it? Your tapped creatures having indestructible is a huge problem for me. A huge problem. Okay, so I will block, and take 7. Oof. Maybe I just chump with Lissalina Informant to get the Surveil. I kind of like that play. I really need Blightrot, probably. So I think chumping is a good idea, just to get some card selection here. Yeah, Adept Water Shaper is a nice one. I really want some of my removal. I do have pretty good removal. I guess actually it's only double Blightrot, and all of their Assert Perfections are gone, which is probably good for me. River Guard's Reflexes to kill Tristan. Yep, that's really good for you. Yeah, they probably have a faster and more powerful deck than I do, unfortunately for me. So now I'm going to play around River Strike Reflexes forever. Okay, Blightrot is a nice one. Spry Mighty is just... I think no one can convince me that this is a good card. Like, people are somehow having success with it. No one can convince me that this card is actually good. I thought that this card, Blightrot, is good. That Spry Mighty is good. I thought it was terrible when I first looked at it. Then people at really high Mythic, like people... Whoa, Curious Colossus? They binned Curious Colossus? Oh, because they don't want me to cast it. That's really funny. Wait, no, but I don't have 7 elves. Are they going to bring that back from their graveyard somehow? I do not understand them binning Curious Colossus. That's really scary to me. Yeah, so like someone at, I don't know, like Mythic number 50 or something played Spry and Mighty against me and did really well. And so I was like, okay, I guess this card is actually good. Oh, I probably should have attacked here with Vigilance, shouldn't I? But okay. But then, in fact, I think the card is actually terrible. I'm trying it out right now, and it's like completely stuck in my hand. If I can draw a Great Forest Druid, I can draw 4 off of it. and give something +4/+4 and trample. So, or Figure of Fable, Great Forest Druid, Lissalina Dignitary, Surly Farmer. I'm looking at my deck list right now. Moonglove Extractor. All of those would be good draws in terms of unlocking Spry and Mighty, or Grave Shifter. Okay, so I'm going to try to snap up some creatures here. They'll attack me. I'll make some blocks. And then I'm going to Blight Rot the Water Shaper so that some of their stuff dies. That's the idea. I didn't have a removal spell last turn, so they have every reason to swing in with the team here, I think. They did see me surveil something to the top, though. Actually, they did see me surveil something to the top. I'm going to do this so that if they have another River Strike Reflexes, they kill Pummeler for hire, not Marilyn. All right, pass to damage. I'll let those cards get the damage on them first. See if they play something. Okay, end of turn. Well, actually, pass to end. Right, we're currently on their main phase. So pass to end. And then I will let you surveil without the information that Adept Water Shaper is going to die. And then this trigger resolves. I'm just really making sure not to pass to my turn. And then we'll Blight Rot that guy. Now, if you have a Hexproof trick, then I think I'm cooked. Okay, there we go. So I got a nice little 3-for-1. Yes, Great Forest Druid, let's go. Let's go. Okay, I take everything. I take back everything. Spry and Mighty is an incredible card. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to Spry and Mighty, Pummeler for hire, and Great Forest Druid. It's a draw 4. Okay, I take it back. This card's amazing. I take it back. This card turns out to actually be awesome. I'll behold my Maryland and play this. Maryland. I'll exile 2 cards from your deck. Tributary Vaulter, what are you doing here? I could attack with Maryland, but I think that's a little bit arrogant. I could do it, but I think that's a little aggro. My guy does have trample. I guess they're trying to surveil. That makes sense. That makes sense. That checks out. I also would probably try to surveil in this situation. All right, put something in the bin. And yeah, let's see if we got there. There certainly are cards in this set that would get me here. Curious Colossus is one of them. I'm going to be playing around that. Well, you can't really play around Curious Colossus. I'm going to be having that stuck in my mind as a haunting vision of what could come down for all of next game. All right, I'll play Moonglove Extractor, exile 2 cards. And I can play anything for 3 or less. Everstrike's Gift. That is threatening lethal now. In with both. All right, we got there. Game 1. But we saw some scary cards. The Colossus plus Slumbering Walker. That is very worrisome to me. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do. I mean, one thing is be faster. One thing is definitely be faster. I don't know. Do I cut Spry and Mighty? I think Spry and Mighty is a little bit too much of a silly dream for this matchup. I really just want damage early. They may also be trying to play around Spry and Mighty next game, like trying to kill stuff that has like a low power or something because they saw it and it did really well. I could play something like Prideful Feastling. I just want to get a little bit more consistent. I don't think it's Glister Baron. So I think I was saying cut Shimmerwild's Growth. I have 9 green sources, so I don't really need that. And then I can play an island. I think I could take the hit in my mana base instead of taking the hit in my cards, is my idea. All right, I'll play this island. I was looking for my fancy one, but I don't see it. Okay, so probably I can run, I don't know, maybe actually play the Gut Splitter Gang. Or maybe this one is good because it just has a lot of power. I think having a lot of power might be good. And then a Feastling, I guess. I wish I had another 2-drop. Honestly, maybe I just play the Boggart. I know it's like not a great card, but I like the idea of just being really fast. Okay, you know what? If I can't think of another card to play, then I should probably just play the Spry and Mighty. I think this looks good. Let's try this build. Basically just trying to be fast, put stats on the board as early as possible because my opponent has so many bombs and such good bombs. Well, they at least have, let's just say, several bombs. Not to gripe or anything. I mean, Maryland pretty much single-handedly won me that game, so it's not like I don't have any bombs. It's just I'm very scared of what happens when their deck gets to like 5, 6, 7 mana if they have access to 2 white. And they have really good creature quality, right? They just have like really good Kifkin stuff going on. So, okay. All right, Evolving Wilds, fixing them into a forest. I will play my own forest and pass. Then we're going to play Lissalina Informant. Then depending on what they put down, I'll either hold up Dawn's Light Archer or Wretched Wretch. Okay, they have their own Informant. All this Surveil is so good with their Slumbering Walker. Just put a creature into the bin and bring it back for value. Spry and Mighty, what do we think about that? It looks really bad. Everything has either 3, 4, or 5 power. I'm just going to drop that right now. Yeah, I don't think that card's good. So hey, I mean, this is all about learning, right? This is all about learning what works in sealed. Spry and Mighty is a kind of a card that, you know, maybe in sealed you get to resolve a clunkier sorcery than you can resolve in draft. So, you know, you might wonder going into the arena direct, should I play Spry and Mighty? Now my impulse is going to be, don't play it. In the arena direct, at a high number of wins, you don't really get chances often to, I'll certainly trade this off. You don't really get chances often to like play really, really, really slow stuff. I guess I'll keep this. I kind of do want to hit 5 lands. An island would be better. But that's okay. I'll play Dawn's Light Archer at the end of their turn and just try to sneak damage through that way. I mean, Wanderbrine Preacher does a good job of resolving that pressure because it gains 2 every turn. But soon enough, hopefully I'm landing a Stoic Grove Guide. I don't like Wretched Wretch, especially in this deck where I don't really have Blight going on, but I thought that getting stats would be good. I think now, actually, though, that was probably a bad idea because they have a lot of 2-power creatures, which are just going to trade up with Wretched Wretch. So probably I should not. Probably I should side this out if we go to game 3, to be honest. All right, let's see what they've got. I wonder if it's 2 damage to a tapped creature. That's what I honestly think is going to happen. So let's not show them Figure of Fable here. Because if they have removal, they might save it for that. Okay, I'll make the trade, and then I'll play Figure of Fable into Wretched Wretch. Now, unfortunately, they could just have Slumbering Walker here, but actually they can't bring back either of those cards with Slumbering Walker, so... You know what's bad against Slumbering Walker, though? Blight Rot. Just give it a million more opportunities to bring stuff back. I'll just take the Preacher again if they attack with it. They may not. Let's see if it's Slumbering Walker. It could be. I mean, for all I know, their hand is Slumbering Walker, and then the 7/7 Colossus that makes all my stuff permanent 1/1s. For all I know. Okay, they're going to kill Wretched Wretch, I think. Or not. They might be thinking about what to spend a removal spell on. They should absolutely kill the Figure of Fable. I really would love to draw an island. Yeah, I'll just take this, no doubt. It's doing a lot of work for them, but Figure of Fable will start blocking it profitably next turn. 2 damage is not such a big deal. I mean, a 4-point life swing is a pretty big deal, but I'm just not going to trade my 3 mana 4/2 for their 2 mana 2/2. I'm just not interested in that. So if I don't draw land next turn, I can attack with Wretched Wretch, hold back Figure of Fable as a 2/3 and Blight Rot. If I do draw land, I'm going to be looking to play the Stoic Grove Guide. It looks like they... I don't know if they have... I actually have no idea if they have a Slumbering Walker here. It's kind of interesting. I think I'll just attack with Wretched Wretch to not play into a trick that could kill my Figure of Fable. They might just have 4 damage to a tapped creature. No? It's funny. If they kill it, I could, in response, Blight Rot it and get it back. That could come up in some weird edge case somewhere along the way. Figure of Fable will not be blocking, but I didn't want it to attack because I just don't know what they're up to. I kind of think they want to get their Wanderbrine Preacher in the bin so that they can Slumbering Walker and bring it back. I'm wondering if that's the line that they're looking at here. They're not doing anything very conspicuously while mousing over all of my stuff and looking at their hand a lot. So I don't think they're just stuck with nothing to do. I think... they are pondering many different lines. The difference between this and the Arena Direct is I don't think the Arena Direct will be traditional style. Okay, I am going to just block here because I get value if this dies. If they Slumbering Walker and bring it back, I mean, so be it. It could be +2 in first strike. That's the other thing. But like, I can't just never get into combat with this Wanderbrine Preacher, right? Might as well do it with a card that comes back. A card that gives me value from the graveyard. So I'll play this. I can only do this as a sorcery, so I'm just going to do this right now. Technically, I could buff this to a 4/5 instead. But I like the idea of buffing it to a 2/3. And then also having up Blightrot. That just sounds good to me. Having up Blightrot sounds important. All right, so in we go. Oh, it's highlighting, but that's because I can only do the first ability again, which just makes it exactly what it already is. This card just takes over. I can already make it a 7/8 protection from my opponents. Oh, maybe I should have just raced to do that because that only gives them 1 turn to remove it. Yeah, that's very possible. Interesting. Interesting. Tributary Vaulter. Well, now I guess I know what the Vaulter is in here for. It's because they have Wanderbrine Preacher. Do I just want to Blightrot at the end of their turn? Aha. In response? Well, actually, not even in response. Because if I do this in response, then they get to recast it. Oh, no, it doesn't matter because the Tributary Vaulter has Summoning Sickness. So I just let them get a free trigger because I kind of didn't think things through very well. That's okay. I thought what they could do is they could bring back the gift and recast it on the Tributary Vaulter, which was wrong for 2 reasons. One is they are missing 1 mana to bring it back and then recast it. The other is the Tributary Vaulter is Summoning Sick. And I'll add a third reason, which is I don't even know if they want to attack with Tributary Vaulter here. So I wasn't really thinking there. I let them get a free 2 life. So that's, you know, we're practicing. This is a practice day. This is a practice day. So I definitely want to be activating Figure of Fable. I don't even know if I want to get it into combat, to be quite honest with you. Probably I do. Like, yeah, it's all very lovely if I get to activate it. It's all very lovely if I get to activate its ultimate, which I have the mana to do now. But let's see. They could do 4 damage to a tapped creature. So maybe it's not even worth pushing the extra 2 damage. I'm playing it very loose with my opponent's life total. But I think I really like the idea. Well, whenever I do this on my turn, even on their turn, they could kill it. So let's just do this right now. They can do 4 damage to a tapped creature right now if they wanted to. I was thinking about, do I want to have up making it a 4/5 as a response to deal 4 to a tapped creature? But the thing is, if I didn't do it, then even if I waited until the end of their turn to activate it, they still could have popped my Figure of Fable with that spell the moment that I activated that. And I need to activate it in order to get the ultimate off on my turn. Okay, there's no artifact or enchantment here to destroy. Did they sideboard this in against me? But I don't have an artifact or enchantment. I think this is a mistake by the opponent. I think they should have sideboarded this out last game when they did not see any artifacts or enchantments from me. I think in best of 3, you want to sideboard this in, not have it in your main deck. Okay, 7/8 protection from each of your opponents is pretty good, right? I guess they can... would the Colossus give it -1? Yeah, right? Because it's not targeting the thing. So the Colossus would still blanket. It would still turn it into a 1/1 with no abilities, I think, right? Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do this right now. 7/8 protection from everything is pretty good, and in with the team. They're taking 9, I believe. All right, very nice. Off to a pretty quick 1-0, and we got that game done in 2 games, which always feels nice. I think I'll keep Spry and Mighty in my deck just because, whatever. I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's kind of a fun card to have access to. I'm actually wondering if I do want a 4th blue pip, because if that were a closer game, I would be sad having Maryland stuck in my hand. So I wonder if I just play an island and also play Shimmer Wild's Growth and Great Forest Druid. That makes me want to play 1 more card on my top end. It could be Glister Baron. The problem is Glister Baron's not good on its own. What about Rooftop Percher? It actually might be Rooftop Percher. I kind of like the idea. I don't think that the champion is playable for me, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm going to try the Rooftop Percher. Those kinds of cards, a 3/3 flyer. I credit Jason Yee talking on the Limited Level Ups podcast with making me think a lot about this. 3 power flyer for 5 or 4 power flyer for 5 is not where you want to be in Contemporary Limited. Unlike when I used to play Draft back in the early 2010s, 3 power flyers were just bombs almost inherently. It could be a 6 mana 3 power flyer, and you would probably be happy to play it back in the day in Limited. Now this is not the case. A lot of these 3/3 for 5 flyers are pretty bad, but those cards can win games. So in scrappy environments, like in sealed deck, if your pool does not have curve fillers that can just win games on their own, it may very well be worth playing. This hand is not worth keeping. But yeah, you have to respect cards that can win games on their own. This is an amazing hand. I think I'm actually going to put back the Surly Farrier because I can go Figure of Fable into Lissalina Dignitary, Shimmerwild's Growth, and then play a Dawnslide Archer potentially if I get any land. Yeah, I think I'm actually... Maybe I put back Shimmerwild's Growth because Lissalina Dignitary is going to be accelerating me. I kind of like that idea. Well, but this is color fixing. Okay, I'm actually going to put back the Surly Farrier. I have a 1-2-3 curve. I think I should just do it. And Lissalina Dignitary with Figure of Fable is bonkers, right? The Vivi Sleeves is like triggering to me, honestly. Lissalina Dignitary with Figure of Fable is really nice because it can activate the figure's abilities faster. So I can go 1, and I can do both of the abilities now. I'm going to have to do some careful counting here, unless they remove something. Okay, they didn't. Happy to say that they did not remove anything, and they cannot attack with the Trapper. There's no 0 mana pump spell in the set. Okay, so let's think. So I want to activate Figure of Fable twice. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That means that I can Shimmerwild's Growth onto a forest, make it make blue mana, right? So that works. Then I can activate Figure twice and make it a 4/5, right? It just costs 3 white, which I can... Oh no, there's no elf in my graveyard. What am I doing? What am I thinking? There's no elf in my graveyard, so I can't activate this yet. But as soon as I play the Dawnhand's Eulogist, I can. Yeah. No, I was forgetting. Lissalina Dignitary. Somehow I remembered like you need to have an elf to play it, but I somehow just logged it in my mind as like if you behold an elf, it can do the mana thing. But no, it's not about beholding an elf to do the mana thing. It's a whole other condition to do the mana ramp. That's fine. Dawnhand Eulogist should hopefully get us what we need. We'll see. We'll see if it actually puts one in the graveyard. Do they have a removal spell here? I struggle to think of what it would be in blue and white that would just kill this guy. Yeah, I didn't really think that exists. So now I can play Dawnhand Eulogist. If I do get an elf in the bin, that's very wonderful because then I can play Great Forest Druid. The other option, I guess, is Great Forest Druid and then what? Nothing. So, okay. I'll just play Dawnhand Eulogist. Let's see if we can mill an elf. They are representing cancel mana. There's a counter spell, but you pay 1 extra or you blight 2 or something. Okay, put an elf in the bin, please. Don't put Marilyn in the bin. Okay, that's an elf in the bin. Awesome. That was really lucky for me. I fully own that was a lucky. I mean, these would have been good draws too. So I can activate this, but it's just the same thing over again. So now I'll play this guy. And now all of my stuff is face up. The opponent can see every single thing I've got going on. Now my top priority, bar nothing, is to activate Figure of Fable. And I have the mana to do it. I just need 2 turns to do it. I will not be attacking. So next turn I can go 1, 2, 3 to activate it once, and 1, 2, 3 to play Dawnslide Archer. Then the turn after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 3 green to activate Figure of Fable again. Oh, and I also have a Great Forest Druid, so that's actually a whole other mana to spare. Okay, Sun-Dappled Celebrant is a good one from the opponent, but it doesn't really affect my game plan. So I'll just play this. I think I just play entirely on their turn, right? Why don't I just attack with Dawnhand Eulogist, get in for 3, because it's not like it's going to be blocking. I mean, I guess I could have blocked the I could have arranged to double block the Sundappled Celebrant with Dawn's Light Archer plus Dawnhand Eulogist, but kind of just want Figure of Fable to be my game plan. So I'll take the 5. It happens. I mean, I guess I could double block with Dawn's Light Archer plus Alyssa Dignitary. Is it worth it? 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they spend a removal spell here, I'm not too sad. I don't need the Dignitary for anything any longer, right? Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, they already are going to do. I mean, there's so many blowouts. If I do this double block, they have a lot of ways of blowing me out. But my game plan is activating Figure of Fable. If they kill these 2 random creatures, I'm not too upset about it. Yes, Sundappled Celebrant is a pretty short clock, but it's like I can't just be taking 5 every turn, right? So I think this makes sense. And I already milled one of my Blight Rots. Okay, see, that is fine. I'm just going to activate Figure of Fable. And then yes, I can activate it again, but it's the wrong one. That will go straight to the bottom, of course. Okay, and then you kill this guy. It happens. I kind of think I'm the beatdown. They can't tap Figure, can they? So I make it have pro everything. They can tap it now. That's true. That is true. Sure. Protection for my opponent. I'll attack with the Eulogist for another 3. You can bonk me for 5. I won't even chump with the Druid. I would like to have the Druid so that now if I get Spry and Mighty, I can draw 7. So Spry and Mighty is looking pretty good here. Yeah, I really hope I draw Spry and Mighty. I didn't even think about that. That's the best draw. This card is so good. It is so annoying to play against. All right. Pass to attackers, you get lifelink, which is really, really unfortunate for me. 5 lifelink. Not really sure what I can do about that, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I can do about that. I thought I was racing, but that completely changes everything. So, okay. They tapped this Sundappled Celebrant. Interesting. I guess they're just planning to chump this. Okay, they gain 5. Ridiculously good. I think Abigail is one of the most incredibly powerful cards in the whole format. Flexible mana, flying, first strike, lifelink. If you have any chunky creature, you're just immediately getting... That was a 10-point life swing. Should I be on 16 lands, perhaps? This is pretty unfortunate. I'm not thrilled about the whole only drawing lands thing. 1, 2... So these all got milled. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 non-lands, 5 non-lands. I guess I just shouldn't be on Shimmering Growth. Okay, you may tap that. I'm only dealing net 2 damage to them every turn. It's so bad. Yeah, if I could get Spry and Mighty, I would be really happy. I think since Spry and Mighty is my win condition here, I'm going to play the land. I can reset it if I want. I can turn it back down into a 2-3. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm almost dead. So Spry and Mighty... Actually, it is still a win condition, right? I would deal 15 damage. Unless they play a chunky blocker. Something with more than 2 toughness. Oh no, they're going to gain 6 here. So actually pretty much any blocker. No, because Great Forest Druid would also attack. All right, let's go Spry and Mighty. Let's draw it. I just specifically need to draw Spry and Mighty. Draw 7. Crack in for a million. Spry and Mighty, let's go. That is not a Spry and Mighty. Yep, that'll do it. Too bad. Okay, should I be on 16 lands? I think it's very possible. With this deck, I think it's very possible. Should we do that? Cut the Rooftop Percher maybe? And play a Boggart as just a 1-1 to have something going on? Trade a land for a Boggart? I don't know. Does that even do anything? I guess so. That just felt no. I think I want the 5-drop. Cut a land and play another 5-drop. 16 lands, a bunch of ramp. Let's try that. I might get punished, but that just felt really bad. I mean, it just felt like my deck was delivering me like only ways of making mana and absolutely nothing to do with any of the mana, which is a deck building problem. This is not a deck building problem. So we are playing traditional. 2 no landers in a row is pretty rough stuff. That's pretty it's pretty rough. I guess I'll put back Graveshifter and Lissaline Informant. Technically Graveshifter plus Lissaline Informant is kind of sweet because you can put something in the bin and then bring it back with the Graveshifter. I don't know. I think I just do this. Yeah, so in traditional, it is like actually random. There is no hand smoother as there is in Premier Draft. All right. I will play the Informant. We'll try to get an Elf in the bin. Forest in the bin is also correct. Yeah, the double no-lander is a little bit tough. That was a little bit tough. What can we learn from this draft, though? Or from this match, I mean. I really felt, I mean, I guess, yeah, just having stuff to do with your mana, maybe. Maybe that's the thing I can learn. Try to get a land here. Maybe that's what I can learn. I mean, I felt good until they played Dawnhand Celebrant plus Abigail. I guess the thing is Abigail's really good. Or what is it? You know, that little owl thing that gives first strike, flying, and death touch. That was really what won them the game. I mean, I had a 7-8 protection from all of their stuff. Unblockable, untargetable, can't be damaged. So you would think I'm winning. The problem is just they managed to take over the race by gaining 5 every turn. So more removal, but I don't really have removal in my pool. But maybe that's one thing that we can learn. Like, removal is absolutely essential. Even having a 7-8 protection from everything doesn't do it sometimes. I guess that's something I can learn. Although I already knew that, but it's nice to have it reinforced, I suppose. All right, I mill 2. Milling my island. Okay, well, milling 3 lands, I guess I can't complain too much about. I'm going to attack with both. I think I need to get the pressure on. I have bigger creatures right now. I have way fewer cards in hand because of the mulligan to 5. Okay, they're going to tap something down. That's fine. I kind of want the Lissaline Informant to die as well because then I get to Surveil. And because I have fewer cards, my card quality really matters. So I'll attack with this guy. Basically, I'm just going to attack with everything. I'm just going to attack with everything every turn. Wanderwine Trapper makes that a little bit harder, but I don't really want to Blight Rot Wanderwine Trapper. It just feels really bad to trade 3 mana down for 1 mana when I know they have a lot of good cards in their deck. Blossom Bind on the Eulogist. Okay, a little annoying. So now they can Trapper to tap down the Informant, block with a Scoundrel every turn. Okay. Maybe also Spry and Mighty goes up after that game. Wow. Land. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 8 lands left out of 27 cards here. Well, 25, the top 25. So we have a 1 in 3 chance of drawing a land. Okay, I think I'm pretty sick of Wanderwine Trapper. I think I'm just going to get rid of it. Of course, doing this absolutely guarantees that the opponent is now going to draw the best 5-drop in the game with exactly 4 toughness. But I just, you know, I think I have to spend my resources because, look, they have 3 more cards than I do. I think I just have to spend my resources. All right, you attack with both. Trigger. They could tap each other if the opponent wanted to get in damage. All right, 1 damage to the Dignitary, 1 damage to me. Overgrown Tomb. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands. 1, 2, 3, 4 non-lands. Yeah, you can't really win games looking at ratios like that. I've seen 4 non-lands and 10 lands. Now, in fairness, I did mill 3 of these lands, but still. And I am on 16 lands. Sorry, I forgot about that. I actually only have 6 lands left out of 26 cards. So we are now in extremely unlikely territory looking at this many lands. Certainly we should start seeing non-lands starting next turn and for almost every draw thereafter. All right, liminal hold. This is death by 1,000 paper cuts. A little painful. The opponent doesn't really have threats. Okay. 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 I mean, okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 5 lands left out of 25 cards. So there's a 1 in 5 chance. Each of these draws has been 1 in 3, then down to 1 in 4, then down to 1 in 5 chance of happening. And yet everyone is a land. So what can you do? What can you do, my friends? I do have to admit, I think sealed is a pretty bad format ever since they came out with play boosters. I think the randomness is just pretty off the charts. I play it because that's the format where you can get boxes. I do wish you could get boxes for draft. That would be awesome. And we milled Spry and Mighty. Well, that would have been pretty bad in our deck anyways. Do we really not have an elf in our graveyard? It's just all lands. It's so funny. Well, yeah, if you could get boxes for drafting, that would be awesome. But Wizards chooses to make us play sealed to get our boxes, so reluctantly I accept. I'm a sucker for getting some boxes, so I try to figure out how to do sealed. But it is very luck of the draw. I mean, the opponent is totally stuck as well. Like, they don't really have anything going on, as far as I can tell, unless they're about to play a really good card. But the fact that they didn't attack with any of these means they don't have any combat tricks. Okay, they played. So let's just be clear. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That means we have 3 lands. 3 lands remaining in these 20 cards. Okay. Well, it doesn't feel good to go 1-1 when I think my deck is, it's not like a top sealed deck, but it definitely deserved better than that. Let's just say that. 2 no-landers into a multi 5, and then I drew 13 of my 16 lands in the top 20 cards. Is there anything that we should adjust? I mean, Rooftop Percher would have been fine there. I did like... Wait, am I on 17? Oh, okay. That's totally on me. Hey, that's totally on me. I accidentally was playing 41 cards. Okay. So one of those lands that I drew should have been a different card, potentially, because I accidentally played 41. That's on me. All right. I mean, I don't really think that's much of a learning experience. Let's go on to the next one. All right. We're 1-1. I'll be on the play. This looks pretty sweet. Turn 1 figure. I don't have anything turn 2, but hopefully turn 3 I can play Tristan into Dawnhand Eulogist, etc., etc. And we're just draining for 1 million. That would be nice. That would be pretty nice. So I'll open with Figure of Fable. Totally sweet card. I guess turn 2 what I have is upgrading my Figure of Fable. All right, Evolving Wilds. Sure. I wouldn't mind drawing a land now. After all that complaining I did about drawing lands, now is the time. So this thing can enter tapped. I'm just going to upgrade this guy and Kraken for 2. Next turn, it'll be Tristan, then Dawnhand Eulogist, hopefully, if I can get another land. They could have deal 4 damage to target tapped creature. That would be pretty sad for me. That would make me sad. I'll admit it. Looks like they have removal for it. They just played a swamp. No? Okay. I'll play this. I will attack. Yeah, okay. Deal 4 damage to a tapped creature would not do it because I could have activated it. Now it would, but I'm assuming they don't have it. So I will play Tristan. We did get an elf. That's pretty sweet. And I can exile Moonglove Extractor for value. So that's nice. So next turn, I'm inclined to flip Tristan, drain them. Or it's not quite draining. It's deal 2. They lose 2. And play Great Forest Druid. I like the idea of having mana. Okay, Wretched Wretch. So Blightrod is really bad against that guy, right? So do I just flip Tristan and play the Great Forest Druid? I think that's correct, yeah. Okay, I'll exile Moonglove Extractor, take 2 away from you, and play this guy. Do I really want to attack? I don't think so. I could have attacked with Figure of Fable, but the problem is Tristan asks me to make the decision about flipping it before my attack step. Okay, so they're Sultai, or sorry, they're Esper, I mean. Another Abigail. Okay, this card is so cracked. It is just cracked in half. You play it, and then you just instantly gain, whatever, just a 1,000,000-point life swing. That is pretty strong, if you ask me. That is pretty strong. I will mill and gain some life. I can definitely use the life here. And then I guess I might as well attack with both. See if they have some kind of trick here. All right, I'll just get through for damage. And then they can't have removal. This thing will come back, but it will come back without the counters on it. Oh no, it loses all abilities, so it doesn't come back. I like that it does not come back. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for me. Tristan has lots of stuff to exile. That's also good news. So Tristan is just going to be doing its thing and hopefully making it hard for the opponent to stabilize too easily here. Encumbered Regery. Okay, their deck is kind of all over the place. Like Wretched Wretch, Heirloom Ante, a Merfolk card. But Abigail is really good. I wouldn't be surprised if they attack to just gain 1 life here. Okay, I'll take it. Go to 19, my turn. Pummeler for hire. Okay, I think maybe I just don't flip Tristan this time and I play Pummeler for hire. I also honestly kind of want to just do the whole Figure of Fable thing because the moment that I draw a land, yeah, maybe let's do that. So what if I decline, do Figure of Fable? So I can attack with Tristan and Figure of Fable. Tristan could die here. That's fine by me. They cannot kill Figure of Fable. I think they might be double blocking Tristan. That's absolutely fine by me. Okay, I will pump this guy. So in for 7. That's a lot of damage. And then I'll just have a 2/2 back for blockers. I'm at 19, so I'm not too worried about my life total. Knock on wood, famous last words. I also have a Blight Rod if they play anything too scary. But most importantly, if I get to flip Figure of Fable, it has pro everything. So it can't be blocked, dealt damage, enchanted, or targeted by anything controlled by your opponents. Oh, Shimmer Creep. Yeah, I was thinking like I would just have a lethal swing with a 7/8. Okay, no, I kind of just want to crack in with Figure of Fable and just make that my win condition. So I'll do this before blockers. Make this guy a 7/8 pro everything. Attack, bonk, put you to 2. And now I'm not sure what can happen. They could play what? Bounce. Okay, they could play the 7 mana Colossus that makes all my stuff 1/1s. They could play the 5/5 flyer that bounces everything that's not an elemental, but they didn't. Yeah, Figure of Fable doing its thing. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, they have a bunch of like mediocre 3-drops, and I also have a bunch of mediocre 3-drops. It's the battle of the mediocre 3-drops. Makes me think a mediocre 4-drop and a mediocre 5-drop are a little bit worse. I kind of want to have mediocre 2-drops, but I think I'm playing all of my mediocre 2-drops, so maybe put in some spikelings or something. I just don't really want to be trading more mana down for less mana. Okay, maybe Graveshifter is fine. Like Mudbudding Curse Tosser is the kind of card I would love to play. Maybe that means the Bilevile Boggart is actually better because it can trade with like some random, like the 4/2, for example, that they had. So, okay, I might try something like this, just get a little bit faster. Let's make sure I'm on the right number of lands. Yeah, it's 16. Okay, I'll try it. I'll try this. The Boggart is not so good, but basically the weakness of all of those 3-drops is that they're understated. And they don't have very special like enters abilities or anything. And so just getting under them and trying to trade up in mana seems like a good way to go. Well, that's unfortunately not a keepable hand. This is a keepable hand though. I think I want to keep Marilyn because if I can get anything that makes blue mana, I can cast it. Maybe I put this back, start with a Bilevile Boggart. then play Lissaline and Dignitary, and I'm basically just trying to get to cast on-hand Eulogist. I mean, it's possible that what I'm supposed to do is keep the anti-sentence, put back Marilyn. But turn 2, I want to play Lissaline and Dignitary anyways, right? I didn't see like individual bombs from them either is the thing. So I'm definitely going to shock in Overgrown Tomb to get the Bile Vial Boggart down early. This card's not good, but it can be annoying. Like if you're trying to attack with a 4-2, yeah, that's a pretty annoying card to see on the other side of the table as a blocker. All right, the opponent once again opens with Evolving Wilds. Makes sense, they're in 3 colors. So the fixing is important. Oh, okay, forget everything I said about shocking in Overgrown Tomb to play Bile Vial Boggart. We have a slightly better 2-drop. The opponent would be very reasonable in being upset about me having turn 1 Fable once again. I certainly would be if I were in their shoes. So I can attack with my Fable because I can turn it into a 2-3. It'll just be 1 damage though. I'll play this. I actually think I may shock this in and play the Shimmer Wilds growth. It kind of seems good to have like a lot of mana here. At the same time, Bile Vial Boggart is a nice one to have down. If I played the Dignitary, yeah, no, I really like the idea of Shimmer Wilds growth actually. So let's do this. I'm gonna put this on here and make it add blue. And now I have 3 mana next turn. Hopefully I can draw a land and have 4 mana. If I have 4 mana, I can play Dawnhand Eulogist, upgrading my Dignitary, and then the next land I get, I can play Marilyn. This is a good card, but Bile Vial Boggart does put a -1/-1 counter on it. Okay, that's nice. So I play this, play this. I will trade this guy for the Regery, no doubt. They're going to crack Evolving Wilds. 1, 2, 3. Milling lands is not so great for me. I do really want another land to get to play Marilyn, but Lissaline and Dignitary can let me play Marilyn if it survives long enough. All right, and now their mana are under them. So Dawnhand Eulogist will snap, block, Encumbered Regery. If they have a trick, then that's really bad for me, but sometimes things are bad, you know? Sometimes things are bad in this life. I keep thinking back to Avatar. That I think their lands are putting me right back to Avatar. I was looking at their lands, trying to think of what they could cast, and I was like, sold out, which is from Avatar. Probably because, yeah, their lands literally are Avatar. So every time I looked at those lands for like a month, it would mean sold out mana. Okay, I'm glad that that trade actually happened. That's really good for me. Oh, that's kind of a nice one, isn't it? So I can go Forest Druid, Lissaline, and Dignitary. I do have to reveal my Marilyn now, unfortunately. I could also play Bile Vial Boggart. Actually, there's a lot of rationale to that, isn't there? Well, I was thinking I could do that to keep up the ability of activating Figure of Fable, but actually I wouldn't be able to because my colors of mana don't work. So maybe it is just Great Forest Druid. Nah, I kind of do want to play Bile Vial Boggart. It's so annoying for them. If they kill my Druid, then the Dignitary is going to be an issue. The Dignitary is going to be an issue for them because it will still get to play Marilyn, and they'll have used their removal spell on something that's not Marilyn. I don't really want to show them Marilyn. And I really do want to have this 1/1 back. The thing that's so good about this 1/1 is I block Moonglove Extractor with Bile Vial Boggart, and I put the -1 counter on the Iron Shield Elf. This Bile Vial Boggart is representing a nasty 2-for-1, and if they're able to kill it, then I can just put the counter on the Elf anyways. It's just so good against Indestructible. It was a really nice sideboard by me without knowing why. Putting this in, I hadn't seen the Iron Shield Elf, but this is like the perfect sideboard against Iron Shield Elf, right? Okay, so you zap me for 1. Okay, that's fine. Not a big concern for me. I'll go ahead and play Marilyn. And now I'm feeling pretty good. Wow, Bile Vial Boggart doing a lot of work here. Maybe the base version of my deck should have the Boggart. Because mana efficiency really matters. Double spelling really matters. Okay, is that something that we just learned about Sealed? Bile Vial Boggart, maybe it's a little better in Sealed. because your mana is a little clunky. So having a 1-drop that you can just boop put down on the side could be good. Okay, we actually can turn Figure of Fable into... Oh, I can't play either of these, can I? Too bad. We can... Oh, maybe I should have played Lissalin and Dignitary instead of Great Forest Druid for that reason. Nah, but I think I was right to not want to reveal Marilyn. They could have spent a removal spell on Figure of Fable. Okay, so now I can upgrade my figure. Next turn, I can play Lissalin and Dignitary, exiling something with Marilyn and play it if it costs 2 or less. If Marilyn survives, we'll see. And then that will be 1, 2. Then I'll have 1, 2, 3. And then I also can upgrade figure. So end of turn, I definitely should upgrade figure. Yes. Finally, this guy's getting a little bit of love. If they have a removal spell, it's hard for them to know what they should even put it on, right? Oh, maybe I play the Eulogist? No, I want to play the Dignitary. I'll play the Dignitary. Behold, behold my Marilyn. And then if I can't cast anything off of this, then I'll just slap down the Eulogist. Especially if I get something awesome that costs 3 mana, then I should slap down the Eulogist. They could always exile Marilyn in response, I suppose, but they would have done it on my turn, right? Because I could have a million tricks here, like the +2/+2 and hexproof. Okay, I'm still, you know, there really aren't board wipes in this set to speak of. Knock on wood, famous last words. I mean, there's Winnowing. That's maybe good against me here. Yeah, they could kill everything except my Biovile Boggart. Okay, maybe I just scared myself into holding back my Eulogist. No, I don't think that makes sense. If you have Winnowing, show me Winnowing and we'll go to game 3. If they play Winnowing, they get to keep these 2, but I would put... Oh, no, they would... Yeah, they would get to keep these 2, and then my Boggart is going to shrink whatever they kept anyways. So I'm not too scared of Winnowing. Knock on wood. Winnowing is a good card. I do not want to see it here. I do not want to see it here. Okay, I got a Lockmare. Oh, that's so awesome. Lockmare is so awesome. I actually can activate it because I have islands. Do I attack with Marilyn? Yeah. I have no reason not to. What do you have? 4 damage to a tapped creature? Oh, destroy target attacking creature. Okay, that's fine. Marilyn did its job. Now I have a Lockmare. I'm just happy that that wasn't Winnowing. I mean, look, I have Figure of Fable and Lockmare. I don't really need the 4/5 flyer. I also don't have any other elves. I'm just as happy to get that removal spell out of their hand. Okay. Interesting attack. I wonder what this is going to be. Maybe they're just trying to draw a card. No, then they would have only attacked with the Moonglove Extractor. So clearly they drew something combat relevant. I kind of just want to block like this. Is that so wrong? I would take 6 damage. Okay, I have a better block. Block like this and block like that. Because, oh, right, you have Menace. Okay, fine. Maybe I will get into a bunch of combats. I have Lockmare. Like, I don't think I care about this, right? If they have... Oh, that's so funny. Good call, opponent. I forgot about Timid Shieldbearer somehow. Okay, so they get a free Dawnhand Eulogist out of this. My bad. Except not really. Because I can put the -1 counter on the Shimmer Creep. But I don't think I will. After all that, I'll just put it on the Iron Shield Elf. My bad. Sorry, folks. That was definitely clumsy play. I gave them a free Dawnhand Eulogist because I forgot about Timid Shieldbearer somehow. My first block was correct, but I just wasn't really thinking. I wasn't really using my brain. Okay, so I can activate this. And I should now, because green, green. I will have triple green. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can remove a counter to draw a card, remove 2 counters to stun something. I guess I just attack with Figure of Fable, probably. You could have +2/+2 in first strike. So I'll just go in with Figure of Fable. And then I think I will draw a card. Actually, I don't think I will draw a card. I want to hold up some blockers. Like I can tap the Dignitary. and a swamp during their turn to flash in Dawnslide Archer. Yeah, but good call by the opponent. I definitely screwed up. I definitely screwed up in my blocks. But I'm really glad to be rid of that elf. Really annoying that they get another attack out of the extractor, though. That is really tough. I'm not happy about that at all. But okay, you get another attack out of your extractor. Okay, resolves. I'll flash in a Dawnslide Archer. See if it resolves. And then I'll just block the Moonglove extractor and take 3, I think. They have no reason to pump here. They could give +2/+2 and first strike, I suppose. But I'm about to have a 7 power creature with protection from everything unless they're going to kill it on my turn. That would be annoying. If they kill it on my turn, I'll be really unhappy. Gallant Foul Knight post-combat because they drew it off of the extractor. Makes sense. And they didn't even attack with any Kithkin, so that's perfectly fine. The second main phase Gallant Foul Knight is not the stuff of nightmares for me. I will draw a card off of Lockmare. 2 -1/-1 counters on each creature would have been something. I'm not sure if that would have been good for them, but it would have been something. All right, let's draw a card. Guiltleaf Embrace. Guiltleaf Embrace. Okay. So what I want to do is just attack with a 7 power pro everything Figure of Fable. Is that what I will do? Probably play the land and do this. And then, yes. Okay. It does require tapping some stuff that I don't necessarily want to tap. But that's okay. Tapping the Lissalin and Dignitary. I'm 1 damage off from killing them with the Guiltleaf Embrace. But they are dead next turn. I can stun something with Lockmare. But I think I would rather Guiltleaf Embrace. Because stunning something with Lockmare means Lockmare is my only blocker. I don't know, there may be some kind of like overrun here too or something. I don't think so in Esper. Their deck really, I wonder what they're splashing blue for. I don't remember what the blue is. Did I see it? Did I see the blue? I'm actually not even sure. Okay. Pass to blockers, block and block, I guess. Honestly, maybe I just block here. Oh no, it has Menace. That's right. Okay, block and block, I guess. I take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost dying. Maybe I should have stunned their guy. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. Maybe they have a combat trick. It could happen. They don't have enough to double pump. So I take 7 going to 1. Sure looks like it. Oh, I didn't even draw a card. That was so clumsy of me. I forgot to even draw a card. Ooh. Oh, they didn't let me cast it. Okay, I got very clumsy at the end there because I just kind of turned my brain off when I thought I had pretty much no way of losing because of my pro everything card. I shouldn't have. You know, you need to keep your mind running. Chalk that up as a learning. But okay, we're at 2 wins. If we get 1 more win before our next loss, then we do almost break even on our entry. Then the whole event only cost us 200 gems. So let's try to win. Let's try to win. Get our gems back. All right. I like this hand. Yeah, I totally like this hand. It has a Lissalin and Dignitary on 2, Blight Rod on 3 if need be, and then Dawn Handulogist on 4, hopefully unlocking the pump of the Dignitary, or the ramp of the Dignitary, I mean. So I'll behold an elf. I will behold, sure, I'll behold the one that I'm going to play sooner to give them the information for less time. And then I can Blight Rot if they play something amazing. Oh, this is awesome. This is perfect. Yeah, this is really, really good. End of their turn, Dawnslide Archer. If they try to kill my guy, I even have Guiltleaf Embrace if need be. I wonder if they're not actually a black-white deck and they're stuck on a color or something. Kind of seems like that might be the situation. Or they have something to kill my stuff here. They could have... What is there? There's the 2/2 flash. Oh yeah, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Wait. Tell me what you block. I assume it's going to be Dawnslide Archer, but I want you to commit to that. I'm a genius. I'm finally learning how to like read, do good reads in the set. By the end of Avatar, I felt like I knew like what was coming. I had like a sixth sense. Not that I was like better than, you know, other players at that. just that by the time you've played a lot of a format, you just start really knowing. Like, I would say what my opponent was going to play before they played it so much. And then when I started playing Cube, I really realized how much I had been doing that. I'll probably play this one just because it represents 1 more damage. Because I had no idea what was coming. It was like it was a total reset on going from one day feeling like I know exactly what's in my opponent's hand like a third of the time to the next day having absolutely no clue what's happening. I think I'm actually just going to do Spry and Mighty, see if we hit a land drop here. Draw 3, hit a land drop. It is leaving a little bit of damage on the table, because if I played Pummeler for higher, I could also get in with the other pumped creature. I think it doesn't, if they spiral into Solitude in response, I don't think it fizzles, right? It goes away, but I think it reads this. Okay, let's call this a learning for the format. Whoops, what am I doing? Let's call this a learning for the event tomorrow. Okay, yeah, it just auto-picked them. It didn't even give the opponent an opportunity to respond. Oh, they can't even blight one. If they had blighted one, I'm almost completely certain that in the rules, it reads X as the spell is cast when you choose the targets. Then if they get rid of the thing, it doesn't matter. There was an interaction that reminds me of in a recent set, but I can't even think of what it was at this point. So probably Pummeler for higher, holding up Anti's Sentence. The opponent is at 5. That's so funny. I could play Dawnhand's Eulogist. It's kind of good. Okay, no, I kind of want to do Pummeler for higher, and I actually kind of want to Anti-Sentence their hand and make them discard something. I like the idea of just seeing what they're working with. What have they got? Sun-Dappled Celebrant. If I pick a Sky Swimmer, they can just bring it back with Slumbering Walker. Same with Dream Caesar. Oh no, not Dream Caesar, but yes with the Sky Swimmer. So yeah, let's just get rid of that Celebrant. I think I'm happy to just get rid of that guy. No attacks. Okay, I really want blue for Marilyn. Spry and Mighty is so much fun. If they do play Dream Caesar here, I will just discard the Eulogist, I think. Okay, they play Sky Swimmer. It makes sense to me. And then you have nothing to bring back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I have 3 elves. Oh yeah. No, the double land. Come on. Okay. We have to roll again. Maybe I was supposed to Blight Rot, but come on. It's just too sweet not to roll again. All right. I will play Reaping Willow. All right. Okay. So we saw Slumbering Walker, Dawnhand Celebrant. Their deck seems slow, right? So I think I'm going to do the exact same thing as last time. Play the Boggart, maybe cut the Percher. They seem to be doing a lot of stuff on turn 5. So maybe I even play Wretched Wretch and cut Graveshifter, something like that. Just get fast. Kind of like that idea. Put a lot of stats down fast. Kind of like that idea. Let's try that out. All right, if we can win this game, we basically get our gems back, which would be really nice because these events are expensive. I'm going to mulligan this. This is a much better hand. I'll probably just put back Shimmer Wild's Growth. I have a nice curve out without it. I mean, it does mean I don't have my blue, but I think that's okay. Spry and Mighty looking so awkward in a hand with all 3 power creatures. Blight Rod, I'll keep that on top. I mean, look, I really do want to land, but I think Blight Rod is one of those cards where... And I think we have the correct read as well. I think our opponent's deck is slow. Oh, I actually should have played Tristan first. I blundered here. I should have played Tristan first because now I'm going to Surveil and then mill. Okay, they just didn't block. That is nice for me. Because, yeah, I was going to Surveil if this died and then end up milling. Okay, we gained 2. That's kind of nice, actually. That could be relevant. So they almost can play the Celebrant. Blight Rot on Tristan. That's okay, but I really do want to land now, please. Thank you. Thank you. That was really nice. Stoic Grove Guide plus these 3 power creatures does mean that I have Spry and Mighty possibility eventually. Oh my goodness. Milling my island. Okay, well, Maryland is very hard to cast now because I put Shimmerwild's Growth on the bottom and milled my island. But live by the splash, die by the splash. That is why we are unlimited splash, folks. We are willing to live and die by the splash. Currently, Spry and Mighty would draw 0, give +0/+0, especially if they're going to kill my Dawn Hand Eulogist, which it kind of looks like they might be about to do. But I think we're in a pretty fine position right now. I'm not feeling too scared of what they have so far. That's a nice land. I kind of want that to be my last land, but that's a nice land. That land is nice. Lets me land Stoic Grove Guide, and then hopefully play Spry and Mighty after that. Yeah, that's a nice one. So feeling in a pretty good position, but I felt in a good position and then lost before. This is Celebrant mana, but they would have had Celebrant mana last turn. And if they have Celebrant, Spry and Mighty is going to be pretty good. I wouldn't be able to attack with the Informant, but I would be able to attack with the Grove Guide profitably. Also, Blight Rod is just good against Celebrant. Oh, I'm getting so good at these reads now. Maryland, come on. Where were you earlier? Yeah, I don't really want to trade. I think let's do Spry and Mighty on Lissalana, Informant, and a Grove Guide. Draw 2 and do some big attack. I will not be attacking with the Informant, though. They could block the Grove Guide. They could double block. That makes me happy. Just getting rid of this guy is an accomplishment. Yeah, that makes me happy. I'm not scared of those cards. This gives value from the graveyard. Too bad that I drew Maryland. Yeah, I'm getting so much better at reads. I was just like, I think they might have Sun-Dappled Celebrant. Bam, there it is. Let's see. Flock Imposter, Blight Rod, and Sun-Dappled Celebrant. They just got totally flooded, I guess? Yeah, Reaping Willow is not going to do it here. Oh, Surveil, but they can't activate that this turn. So when a creature enters, if it was cast from a graveyard, make a token. Oh, these two combo off. You return something and you make a token. Those two combo off. That is nutty. That is nutty stuff. Well, I consider myself very lucky to have just drawn a land so that I can Blight Rot and Blight Rot. And then you bet your horse or whatever that I am going to swing this in for card selection when I have two creatures in my hand. And that's probably going to do it, right? Dawn's Light Archer? I mean, not that I win, but like 4 power at flash that they're not expecting at the end of their turn, that's probably enough to represent a lethal threat in this board position when they're in pure top deck mode. They have drawn so many of their lands. I do think they've gotten unlucky. Yeah, that's a little annoying. That's pretty good against Dawn's Light Archer. But I'm just going to swing both of them in. Anti-Sentence. That is a good one. Just give this -2. And then I'm going to make it 2/2. So we'll crack in for 8. Yeah, I think their deck was a little slow. I saw like essentially no 2-drops. They could have just gotten unlucky. They clearly got flooded this game. So it's possible they have like 10 2-drops in their deck and just didn't see them in either game. That kind of thing happens. And they're probably 2-1 right now. So their deck's got to be pretty good, I think. But it does seem like their deck is slow, which does mean they'll have higher card quality in the top deck war, because my deck's pretty fast. Yeah, these Mara Sky Swimmers are doing work for sure, keeping the opponent alive. Great Forest Druid would have been nice when I was doing silly stuff with Spry and Mighty, but I will also say this is going to let me play Maryland if it survives, which I think it probably will. So bonk, bonk, and 2. And the reason I say I think it probably will is they would rather kill something that has power in this situation, right? Maryland will let me play something for 3 mana value 3 or less. Maryland is an awesome sealed bomb. That is a big takeaway from today. If you find a Maryland in your packs, oh, Reaping Willow, bringing back the guy that makes copies of stuff. Yeah, my opponent is doing absolute shenanigans. And this thing has a lifelink. Wow. Wow. Thankfully, they cannot activate the Reaping Willow again, so they don't get to just keep making token copies of things. And now we do have a bomb to play. But that was a nice stabilization. And I ripped a Slumbering Walker off the top of their deck, which would have been super synergistic for the opponent. I will play the land. So Marilyn is a lethal attacker. They could attack me with Reaping Willow, and then Marilyn is not a lethal attacker, but then I should be able to sneak lethal in just by attacking with all. Right? Oh, you know what they can do? I'm not going to mouse over it because it might give it away. They can blight with their pacifism. Put the counter on Reaping Willow. Oh, they kill Marilyn. Ooh, that's annoying. No. They can only... This only blights one, doesn't it? I'm afraid to even look at the pacifism in case I give away what I'm thinking. Wow, did they just stabilize? So they ripped a Pyrrhic Victory off the top. If I attack with everything, they go to 6. Block, and they take 3, 4. They just stabilized, didn't they? Wow, holy smokes. I don't really know what to say about that. Yeah, and they found the combo, right? Okay, but it's only Blight 1. It's only Blight 1. So they need to get another counter on Reaping Willow to make that go off. Right? And that did shrink their Willow. So they only gain 2 from the Willow. So I'm actually I'm actually not so scared of that anymore, right? So now I'm going to play this, and suppose that I attack with everything. They would block here, and they would take 3, 4 damage. Now, if they had a removal spell or something, that could change the tide of the game. So the fact that I just drew a really good card off the top makes me want to wait just one more turn to try to push lethal. I want to have my Shield Bearer up. Oh, hold on. I've been miscounting. I cannot attack with the Druid and also pump with the Shield Bearer, right? That's very important. It looks like they might be able to make a copy, though, here. Are they able to blight? Did I actually just give them too much time? It could be, right? It actually totally could be. That would be pretty sad, but in with the team. Okay, blocking there. Seems like they might be blocking. Wretched Wretch is kind of a value play, except not really, because I can still activate the Shield Bearer to save it. Okay. Okay, this makes sense from a value perspective if they have removal for Pummeler for hire, and they do not, so we win. Nice, all right. Okay, so I think I basically got my money back in the event. I think that's 3 wins, 1 loss. So what have I learned so far? My deck is good. Just putting stats, like green stats might be really good in sealed. That's kind of how I feel from this. Yeah, 1,800 gems back out of 2,000. So 1 more win and we get a 200 gem profit. It's a very punishing reward structure here in the traditional sealed mines, I'm telling you. But yeah, I think green stats might just be good. Like 3 power, 4 power green creatures. Blight Rod is clearly amazing. Marilyn is a great bomb. But just having like a lot of 2-drops with 3 power, we were winning against that opponent specifically because we were like way ahead on the board pretty much from the get-go. All right, I choose to be on the play. Yeah, it's cool. You actually do a coin flip in traditional. It would be really nice to finally get 4 wins with sealed. I think my sealed has been, I went like 1-2, 2-2, and now I'm 3-1. So if I win this one, I would actually break the sequence for the better. So I'll play this over Lissalina Dignitary because I do not have an elf in the bin. Absolutely binning that in a heartbeat. What I want is a land. I want to go Lissalina Dignitary turn 3. Turn 4, play the Eulogist. Crack in with this guy. Turn 4, I want to play the Eulogist and put an elf in the bin and then be able to use Lissalina Dignitary. But even if I can't, I don't have a plan for what I would do with that Dignitary mana. Okay, you are getting the rot blighted out of you, my friend. First, I'm just going to attack with both of these in case they give me the opportunity to Guiltleaf's Embrace instead. Now, what do you do? Now, when you transform, you make a 1-1. But it has to transform back. So yeah, let's just do damage. I just want to do damage. I will take that trick out of this deck in game 2 because the moment someone sees something like that, they're going to play around it forever, right? I like that they just flipped this guy because they invested a mana in it. This means they can't play a 4-drop this turn, and I can Blight Rot it. I'll definitely kill it this turn, no matter what. Assert Perfection onto Lissalina Dignitary. Okay. That's a little unfortunate for me. Well, Anti-Sentence is better for me than Blight Rotting that guy because it kills it. But now I'm really missing lands, aren't I? And this thing does not have trample, so no reason to attack. I don't think they're... I mean, if they're four color and they're missing a core color, then trading with the Wickermaw is good, but because they have all of their lands, I don't think I should trade. It would be a different situation. If they'd presented 4 forests and a Wickermaw, then I would offer the trade in a heartbeat. This guy is Ward 2. Ward is pretty tough when you're stuck on lands. Yeah, this is too bad. I think my deck... I mean, look, I am on 16 lands, so it's kind of a thing that's going to happen. Maybe I should be on 17 and not playing the Percher, but we flooded out one game. Okay, Lieutenant time, sure. Yeah, Ward is pretty rough when you're stuck on 3, but okay, if we can hit 4 and play the Eulogist, and then 5 and play the Grove Guide, I'm not exactly feeling too far behind. I will, in a heartbeat, I will block this Pummeler for Hire. They chose not to attack. Well, I'll just kill Thoughtless Lieutenant here. That card is good, so I'll just kill it. That's my thinking. I know it's a very sophisticated game plan. I mean, you know, it's interesting. If they were to lower life total, I would strongly consider just Blight Rotting the Foraging Wickermaw. But we cannot draw land, so that is too bad for us. Right, I would consider Blight Rotting the Foraging Wickermaw and just crashing in for 5 and just saying, look, we're racing. But they're at 15. I don't really think that's a solid plan. I think we should do pretty well. Like, this deck, I don't know why you're playing blue. Like, you have Thoughtless Lieutenant, Brigid, Assert Perfection, Moonlit Lamenter, and Pummeler for Hire. I think we should just win a certain number of games by default against a deck like that. They have 3 islands, so blue is a very main color, and yet they're behaving like they are a green-white aggro deck. So, wow, milling 3 lands. So I feel bad that I'm the one who they're winning games by default against, but, you know, it happens. It's Magic. Changeling Wayfinder, getting a land. I guess Brigid belongs in any deck, but Thoughtless Lieutenant... Moonlit Lamenter is more of a control card, so maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe they're not so much an aggro deck, but are these on the splash? Like, what's happening? Are you playing, like white is not a splash for you, right? So are you playing, like, 6... Are you playing, like, 6 of each land or something? It just doesn't make sense. Okay, well, unfortunately, I'm the one with mana problems. So I'll play a Great Forest Druid and just sit on it. Okay. Magic is a funny game. My opponent seems to be getting a little bit flooded for all that. So 2 can pummel for hire. All right. Now we are starting to get a little bit unlocked. So I think I'll just play the 5 power creature. Actually, I think I'll play my own pummeler for hire. I kind of like the idea of just attacking. Well, no, I can't really attack with vigilance, can I? Because they have a 2/5. I guess I could have attacked with Lissalina Informant before they knew that, but then they could just block with Changeling Wayfinder is the problem. Now I can Blightrot Pummeler for hire. But we'll see. I'm kind of scared of whatever they're splashing all these colors for. Deceit. Okay. Deceit. All right. Sure. So I do get another Enters trigger for this, another Surveil. So I like that. I assume that they're not going to get Deceit into combat. Like if I attack with Pummeler for hire. Here I think I can just... Actually, maybe I just block and play a Grove Tender and just say, like, I don't really care. Yeah. If they have a combat trick, that's bad, but I think this attack makes sense on its own merits, so I don't think they have a combat trick. What does the Lamenter do? Okay. They scared me. They made me think Lamenter had a relevant ability that I've overlooked. Okay, so I'll play this. I'll shock in a land. And I will play Lissalina Informant. They do not have Counterspell in their hand. Oh, maybe they do. I was thinking they don't because they left their lands on tap, but actually look, Forging Wickermaw. That's a sweet one. Yeah, that's a sweet one. Don't mind if I do bring back a Pummeler for hire. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could do that in Blight Rot in a turn. Yeah, I'll keep that. I'll keep that one. Deceit is nice, but people keep playing this in mono blue decks. You know, it's just like a huge mana war. It's a mana war that's a 5/5 for 6. It's good, but it's not backbreaking the way that it would be if they were also playing the black version. All right, so here I'll just play my Graveshifter. I mean, I honestly can attack with Simic Grove Guide. Do I do it? I think so. I mean, they could double block, but I think the double block makes me perfectly happy. I'll crack in with this guy, see what they do. I get value from this thing in the graveyard. They could also block with Moonlit Lamenter plus Changeling Wayfinder plus something else. Moonlit Lamenter plus Lissalina Informant would have been a good block. So you're going to Noggle the Mind. Yeah, okay. Here is a lesson in limited, my friends. So look at what's going to happen. I'm going to -4/-4 in your Deceit. Maybe they have something here. It's always possible. And then we're going to go to combat. Noggle the Mind. Do not play this card in limited. Do not play cards that leave your opponent with a 1/1 rectangle on the battlefield. It is just, in general, bad in limited. So we just managed to take out that... It was a 2 for 2, so it doesn't look like a blowout, but it just never should have happened that way, right? If they had Blossom Bind, for example, that just tap a creature and lock it down, it is just so much better. So I'll take this. And even, it doesn't matter if this card was somehow magically like a C+ on 17 hands in terms of game in hand win rate, and you see people like doing well with it online or whatever. Still, in principle, I would maintain you should start out every format assuming that you should not do this unless proven otherwise. Sometimes in a blue moon, there might be a good card like that, but it is rare that a card like that is any good. So here, I think I'm actually going to play the Rooftop Percher because I want to be able to push damage. More than anything else, I just want to be able to push damage. From their graveyard, I guess I'll exile their 2 best creatures, which is probably Brigid and Deceit, just in case they have a way of recurring them. I doubt that they do in Bant, but you never know. And then I will get myself a 2/2, just in case that matters. I could attack with Dawnhand Eulogist because it has Menace. That could be worth doing, honestly. Start attacking with that guy. Oh, you're a 7/7? That is spicy. Okay. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. So I'll attack with this guy. If I attack with the Eulogist now, they can block with a 7/7 and a 2/5 and just eat it. But yeah, this is the card, my friends. So I can turn this into a 4/5 this turn, but not also flash this in. Instead, I could play the Pummeler. This might be the thing to do. Well, if I turn this into a 4/5, then next turn I can turn it into the Protection and crack in for lethal the following turn. So actually, that's what I do. That's actually what I do. This represents lethal on my next turn. Unless they have something with reach. Whoa, what is this? Artifact or enchantment. Draws 2, then discard 1. Oh, okay, I was expecting something scarier. There's no artifact or enchantment here, but you do get to draw 2 and discard 1. Well, you get another chance to get a reach creature, I guess. But yeah, in every limited set that I can remember in recent memory, a card that leaves your opponent with a 1/1, Crib Swap is the same way. That it's just not worth doing. The 1/1 just is relevant so much of the time. That's the thing. A 1/1 is not nothing in the contemporary game of Magic Limited. Maybe if you have like no removal in your sealed pool, that might be the situation that our opponent is in right now. So I'm going to up my figure. They might kill it. It's possible. They might kill it after I invest 6 mana in it next turn. But look, I'm sitting at 27 life. I can afford to try for lethal, right? We're on game 1. I really want to get fast against this person. I really want to be fast against this person. That's going to be my strategy. All right, I'm just going to play an island so that I don't have to tap down my forest druids just in case I really need some blockers. And let's see if you have, there could be a bounce something to the top of the opponent's library here. Nope, they don't have it. So now it has pro everything. It's hard to see how they get out of this one. They could have something that kills my percher to make this not lethal. But there we go. All right. Figure of Fable was a really nice find. Yeah, that worked well. I mean, we got really stuck on lands, and then we just kind of drew our way out of it. I do want to be fast, so I'm going to play the 4-2, and I'm going to play the Bile Vile Boggart. I'm probably going to cut Rooftop Percher, and I want to cut Guiltleaf's Embrace, because now they know to play around it. And yep, let's charge in with these 16, and if I can win this game, I actually made a profit, and then I'm feeling really prepped and ready for Arena Direct tomorrow. Okay, the opponent chose to be on the play very rationally. I think I'll play Lissalina. Oh, I actually can't play the Lissalina Dignitary. That's awkward. Okay, now I can. Phew. I was like, yeah, you know, I have enough elves in my deck. It's probably okay. But I actually think here I'm going to play Shimmerwild's Growth. And then, oh, it's a little awkward because I really want to do this for blue. I mean, I have to do this for blue. But then I can't double spell Figure into Dignitary. But I have to do this for blue. Oh, the opponent got stuck on lands. If I could target opponent, I was like, can I... This is so funny. But I was like, can I use that to make myself discard an elf? Here, I think I want to play Figure and Lissalina Dignitary. I don't love revealing Maryland, but what are they going to do about it? And, sorry, the thing that's happening is Arena is trying to tap everything wrong. So I want to do this, and then I want to do this. Behold an elf. Unfortunately, I have to show you Maryland is on her way. So I figure Fable and Maryland. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, if I could use this to discard an elf for myself and then turn my Dignitary on, that would be so cool. But yep, I'm just going to slap down Maryland. Pretty unfair turn 4 after I already have a Lissalina Dignitary. In with probably just this one. I do not want Figure of Fable to get eaten by a 4-2 flash. Okay, we needn't have worried, apparently. And then next turn, we're going to Spry and Mighty onto Figure of Fable and Maryland, drawing 3. And crashing in for a lot. Okay, maybe I was just wrong about Spry and Mighty. I don't know. I guess I would play Spry and Mighty if I get it in my Arena Direct tomorrow. Is it a build around or is it just awesome? I'm not sure. Okay, now I buff this. Do you see how I did that correctly? I buff it after I draw according to the difference, because otherwise the difference would have been one smaller. Okay, not how you want to win. I mean, it kind of sucks for the opponent. I shouldn't count them out yet. They could still stage an amazing comeback. But yeah, it kind of sucks for the opponent to get totally stuck. I will say it looks like they had a green-white aggro deck. Yeah, Noggle the Mind. Okay. Only because I badmouthed that card. Look, the win rate could be perfectly fine, and you still shouldn't play it. Because it's just the kind of a card. Okay, some cards have a low win rate because they are always bad, right? Other cards have a low win rate because they are sometimes good and sometimes bad, and bad a little bit more often than they're good. A card like Noggle the Mind is always bad and sometimes really, really, really bad. So it might have like a bad to medium bad win rate, but that is just a situation you should never play it because the floor is really low and the ceiling is really low, and it's on average bad. A card like Glister Baron probably has a lower win rate. That's the like Vivid card that's like a 1/4 and you buff stuff. It probably has a lower win rate, but that's because the ceiling is high. 15% of the time it's amazing. It's like a super crowning jewel of a deck. 85% of the time it's garbage, right? In 85% of decks that someone might run it in. So on average, it works out to be bad, but sometimes it's awesome. So you should sometimes play it. If the ceiling is high, that means you can sometimes play it, right? But a card like Noggle the Mind, it just never rises to the place where it should make your deck. So that's why I have a strong feeling about it. That's what these like one number summaries of a game of average win rate miss, right? Okay, mini rant over. We managed to go 4-1. If you felt like you had a cool learning experience and you enjoyed watching me grow as a drafter and learn a lot about sealed, please do go ahead and click subscribe in the link below. I will be posting, I hope, if all goes well, 3 videos of the Arena Direct. I feel really, really good about this learning experience here today. Maryland was totally awesome, and just finding a color where you have a million high quality 2-drops with a clear game plan. And our game plan was just put stats on the board, find one of our 2 mega bombs and just play them and win. That clear game plan worked out well. And I will say, in terms of individual cards, I'm up on Spry and Mighty. I think this card is probably one of those where it's like 20% awesome, 80% terrible. So figure out if your deck is a good fit for it. I don't know if this was the right deck for it. But another thing I'll say is in sealed, in an Arena Direct situation, you have to get lucky. If you go back and look at any of my Arena Direct videos from when I won my other boxes, I get lucky in 100% of the ones that I won. And so you do have to build your deck in such a way that you can get lucky. A way that I often lose in sealed really badly is when I don't even put a lot of power into my deck. So just something to think about. Put in cards that will give you an opportunity to win by getting lucky. Okay, this was a long video. Go ahead and click subscribe if you would like to watch tomorrow's draft and the next day and the next day and the next day. Actually, 3 Arena Directs and then drafts every single day after that. And thanks for watching, everyone. Until tomorrow, have tons of fun playing Magic and don't be afraid to splash.